Bruh, if you ain't following Dubs,
then you are crazy.
It's Dubs, yo.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's dubzYo, and it's been a while since we've made some tutorials or kind of tips and tricks. So today I'm going to be going all over the Infantry Heroes and kind of what combos to use for what skills to use in certain situations. And I'm going to cover runes a little bit, give you some tips and tricks on those because mine aren't all maxed yet, but we're going to do the best we can and give you the information you've been asking for. So to start off, let's go with Garrison. So for those of you that are kind of the Garrison guy or person for your server, as far as infantry, this is the best combo, in my opinion, is Menez and Augustus. Reason being is Menez has these crazy skills that are just going to block incoming attacks, a lot of them. And it's because of this first skill, there's the shield. So you're going to want the shield. And when the shield's effective, tons of counterattack final damage. This is huge, reduces incoming damage 30%. And then this here, so lots of shielding. And when you use Menez with these skills, you'll notice, like, you know how it shows the little points of how much damage is being done from the person hitting the garrison, and then the garrison itself, how much they're taking or getting. You'll notice the numbers don't pop up every second over Menez because that's his shield going into effect. So it's blocking a lot of those attacks, which is pretty crazy. Augustus is what I choose with him. These are the skills I use, and mostly it's because this is crazy. So if you want to check that out, %60 additional final damage when the shield's on, and it also, their skill damage increases by 60%, and for Menez, that's huge. There are some other combos that you can do that are okay, but this is by far the best that I've used. A lot of people were saying the Tut and Wu combo was the best. It's good. I don't think it's the best. You got a decent one with Frederick and Minamoto. And I've also considered trying Menez with Richard because Richard's got some good skills, but they don't have that bonus together as a pair. But he's got this. He's got counter attack, and then he's got a garrison one here. So 30% HP when you're garrisoning. So if you don't have the Menez Augustus combo, this is a good one. And yeah, Minamoto and Frederick is pretty good too. So that's, in my opinion, the best garrison combo. You'll see a lot of people running that. As far as doing rallies, I get a lot of information from people on who's the best rally people to use. I'll first kind of go over what a lot of people were using for some time, and that was the Tut and Fred. The reason a lot of people run this is because they both have a skill that increases the rally size. So you can have, instead of like 2 million in your rally, it's going to be like 2.4 million, and just 400,000 extra troops in your rally is going to make a big difference. Plus Fred has this, and this is really big. But what I think is better, what I've tested that's been better as far as checking the troop boost stats, is this right here. Is Alex and Fred, because these stats here, huge HP defense, but this 30% infantry damage, it's not final damage. It's not, you know, damage for a certain amount of seconds. It's just 30% more damage, which is a ton. And then I use this skill if it's infantry or an archer garrison captain that I'm hitting. If it is a cavalry, if you know you scout it and you know it's a cavalry garrison captain, you can always switch to his other skill that does extra damage to cavalry. For Frederick, we go with these skills. This is very nice. And then I use this one. So your rally size is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be, when instead of 2 million, it's going to be like 2.2 million. So that's really nice. That helps. And especially if you're in an active force that can fill those rallies and keep them full, that, you know, there's a lot of infantry players. That's a big advantage. Anyway, so yeah, that's the garrison combo I use and rally combo. Give me a quick second to fix these, because this is what I do. I switch these all the time, depending on if I'm in the field, if I'm rallying, or if I'm garrisoning. So when I'm not garrisoning and I'm using, you know, these other troops to fight, okay. All right, so for in the field, my favorite, and it's always been my favorite, is this right here. Alex and Wan Yu is super great. It's kind of just an extreme cavalry killer. So what I want to do actually is put on that cavalry skill, which is this one, Flying Wedge. 10% more damage to cavalry and receives 5% less damage from cavalry. So this combo right here is my favorite in the wild combo. Final skill damage is increased. While in the wild, takes 30% less damage. That's huge. You know, more advantage against cavalry with this skill here. And I use this one here. So this is kind of, like I said, your cavalry killer. If you're out in the field, especially in Chibi, and you're clicking on enemies that you see a cavalry hero as their captain, this is going to do really well against them. My second one, let's see, is Caesar and Richard. These are the skills that I use with them. This again has a really good skill for cavalry hunting. I love this one when there's a lot of fighting in the wild, or during like relic contests and chibi in the water, because they got these skills here. Richard has extremely amazing skills. Unfortunately, and this is probably, it might be my favorite skill in the game for infantry players, it's just the movement speed on it doesn't work. I've tested it so many times, and I've mentioned it in other videos. The movement speed in Lionheart just does not work. So huge counterattack combination. I like to just throw my troops out in the middle of huge swarms of enemies and just do massive counter damage. You know, get those points real quick, collect your chibi chest or whatever. Yeah, but also if you can, you know, try to click on cavalry captains, you know, up the enemy, and that helps a lot. This is third combo for the wild. keep this one on. This one increases your rally or your troop size. And I think, let me see, for Minamoto, so these skills here, like deflect, it says when it leads 3 different unit types, reduces all incoming damage. I believe before in a video I did a long time ago, I was doing like, I was putting a couple hundred archer and cavalry in the march to try to trigger that skill. Again, I did testing with it. I also tested it with Tut because he has the same skill, and I also tested it with Cow. It does nothing. I've checked the troop reports and checked the stats. Unless it's hidden, they do nothing. So I no longer use those skills. If you do testing and find that it does work, please let me know and I'll test it again. But as for now, they do not. So anyways, that's one of my marches for in the wild. Great for fighting. Here's my 4th one. This is really good. It kind of just seems like infantry is really good with counterattacks. They have a lot of counterattack skills. So the shield is massive, super helpful. And this is great because your rage fills up quick again. And what it does is it triggers his rage skill, which is his shield. So it's kind of pretty OP combo right here, I think. And my final one here is Tut and Wu. I just love Tut and Wu as a combo. I think they're just cool looking heroes. I also like how Wu is in like a carriage instead of just kind of walking like most of the other heroes. It looks kind of cool. But anyway, these are the skills that I'll use in the wild. It's probably the least strongest out of the 5, but they're all pretty similar in stats when you look at them. So more counter damage. Nope, that's not right. Let me switch that skill because we're not gonna use that in the wild. I guess I wasn't ready to make this video. I would use this over that garrison one. So yeah, that's kind of, you know, these are the 5 again that I'll use in the wild. These 5. If you're infantry, one thing that I've always done is always keep 1 level 1 cavalry horseman. This is just kind of your, what I use it for is to go grab runes. Or sometimes there's quests that's like, I forgot what those quests are, but you kind of got to like send a troop to something to pick something up real quick. So, and it just marches so quick. So I have it here. I got my 2 heroes that have a lot of troop movement speed, 16%. Plus another 4, and then with this, you know, it just gets them real quick. And then also I keep a couple priests. So instead of having to join like 5 rallies you could join one and then put 4 marches of, you know, a couple priests each in it, and that also counts as doing 5 rallies. So just helps out with that. So yeah, a lot to take in so far, but next I'll touch on runes a little bit because I'm not great at runes. I don't have great ones yet, but I'm working on it. I think I only got like 3 of the gold ones maxed. Currently in this Odyssey, I was focusing a lot on being garrison captain, so I was putting my best ones on Menes. So infantry damage and HP. I'll switch these over to Alex if I'm gonna rally something sometimes. One thing I want to mention to y'all though is anything that says, any runes that say troop, so whether it's troop attack, troop defense, troop HP, or troop damage, they do not work when you are the garrison captain. Okay, what I mean is, so if I'm gonna be garrison captain and I'm using Menes as my primary garrison captain hero, I do not want to use any runes that say troop defense or troop HP, like these 2, because they're not gonna work. I've tested it over and over and over again. Those do not work. So I'm giving you some really helpful tips here. Don't use those. You want ones that are gonna say like all damage or all units. These ones will work. Also, you know, infantry, if it says infantry damage or HP or attack, or even for you cavalry players, if it says cavalry damage, attack, defense, those will, but just don't use the troop ones. All right. So yeah, so like for my in the wild marches, I do use those runes because they work great, but they don't work when you're garrison. So in the wild, you know, troop defense, blah blah blah. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of infantry players running Darius lately. They say with his skills, you know, he's got some really good skills that can compete and do extremely well. He's got this one that everyone raves about. So I haven't done it yet. I've talked to a lot of people, and since I'm already done with all the infantry heroes, I just kind of stick to them as for now. But let me know in the comments what you think of Darius, if you've done any testing, and if you think he's, you know, what he's best for with infantry, even though he's an archer hero. That would be great. I'm interested to know, so that would save some testing. But anyways, that's it really. Again, Menes Augustus, I think, is the best garrison combo. And for rallies, I think I'm the only person that does this. I've never seen anybody else do it, but I'm rocking Alex and Frederick due to their crazy skills together. And yeah, so there you have it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think otherwise. You know, other options that are better for certain situations. I'd love to hear it, and I can probably do some testing to see if it's true and accurate. And yeah, until next time, we'll catch you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.